Yes, it gives me an immense pleasure in welcoming today's speaker, Mr. Tirupati. He is working as Assistant Professor Mechanical in Sri Ishwar College of Engineering. He completed UG in Mechanical Engineering in PSR Engineering College, Sivagasi, and completed his ME Energy Engineering at Kumaraguru College of Technology. His field of exposure in thermal energy storage using phase change materials. Apart from his academics and research, he is very much interested in philosophy and motivating of various public and healing peoples who are in need. He has conducted various programs for the public through Indian Institute of Mind Power, Coimbatore. The program focuses on achieving things using mind power techniques. He also completed fundamental course in practicing healing techniques. So with these words, I just welcome Mr. Tirupati sir on behalf of department and Sri Ishwar College of Engineering. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Uh, I'll go for sharing the screen, sir. Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you. I would like to thank everyone who are participating here, and it's my pleasure to thank our management of Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, uh, ATAL team, and the organizers of this FDP, Dr. R. Suresh Kumar sir, Mr. Satish sir, and Mr. Naveen Prabhu sir, for providing this opportunity. So far we have discussed about in this e-vehicle FDP. We have gone through a lot of topics which is so intense in subject. So now it is these things are outside from us. But in today's session, we are going to look something special which is inside of your being, which is so personal, which is so private for each and everyone, the emotion. So in today's session, we are going to look about the emotional intelligence, how we intelligence over through our emotion. So first of all, before entering into this session, I would like to tell something because you all from the various regions of our country. Our country is highly diversified with various culture, the group of people, and the religion, and all over the things. So, whatever the things here I brought up as some kind of philosophy, some kind of thought process which is over the ages. So, you and me may get a kind of different kind of notions, but all the notions, all the thought process are leads to the same path. So The philosophy may sink for you or may not, but just observe. And if you wish, you can take, or else you can ignore. But our aim is to solve whatever the problems we are facing in our day-to-day existence, right? So this is myself, my picture, uh, Tirupati Rajalingam, assistant professor of Sri Ishwar College of Engineering. I'm basically brought up in an agricultural family, but I deeply wants to know about what is the things which is beyond our life. So there is a search. So through that, I gone through certain kind of philosophy. And you all well known me about through our Sadish sir. He is elaborately explained me who am I, what I am, and all those things. So this is my phone number and mail ID. You can contact me whenever you feel free. Okay. So there are a lot of types of intelligence are there. Um, this is what we could list it out: naturalist, musical, logical, mathematical, existential, interpersonal, bodily kinesthetic, linguistic, intrapersonal, and all those things. So what is it? These are all the things which is you, that is the observer, and the observed, who is in outside. So there is always there is what is being observed and what is the feeling of the observer. So this interaction is endlessly going. These intelligence are capable of oneself to perceive or perceive or understand in various field. For example, linguistic means one can able to know about the words, that is the symbols, and what is the same kind of meaning and emotion for each and every word. Then how can one use effectively use that words and symbols. So somebody is in intelligent in music, he can hear new sound, he can observe some kind of new sounds, and he uses it and he makes it a beautiful music. So out of that music he touches another one's heart and he heals others. So similarly, someone can able to imagine some new the spatial, the visualizing the world in 3D, and he can do a lot of buildings, the constructing and all the architectural things. So each and everyone is want to be a kind of intelligent person in some field. But the emotional intelligence, the emotion, which is very essential, which is so private for us, and each and everyone is dealing with it. So how each and everyone can, or understanding each and everyone's emotion is very important to function effectively in the day-to-day life. So for that only we came here, and we are going to discuss this session, how our emotion functions and how can we able to tackle it in my perspective. And you also have your own perspective and your own make of handling it. So if you have, you can share with others so that everyone get benefited. So what emotional intelligence is mean for? So this is a common meme template in our area, in our region. There is two people. So I have created a meme, me and my mind. So in this film, the hero, who is my mind. Okay, so he is the hero. The comedy actor is a building contractor. So the hero usually broke something by his lethargic attitude. So the comedy actor always get frustrated because of the actor, so that he always get frustrated. So similarly, our mind and ourself, our inner being, always in a dilemma, always in a kind of feeling. If we broke our expectations, or if you broke any relationship, trust, hope, or understanding, or expectation, or likes and dislikes, so we all get emotionally affected, so that our being gets affected, right? So how you are going to handle it, how you are going to recover it? So this is our most of the day, not uh, or I can say frequently we may be in this situation, but how swift, in a difficult situation, how swift you are going to change your emotion into a pleasurable, a challenging, and a happy being. So this is what the emotional intelligence is meant for. Emotion is an energy. Hereafter we are going to use the word emotion as energy. Instead of telling emotion, we can say the word as energy. So a person is energetic, or a person is feel low. So this is depending upon the emotion, the feeling, and likes and wants and dislikes of one person. So this varies, right? So if a person feels so energetic, then his emotional stability is too good. So we always wanted to be in an energetic state, and we also wanted to be in a same state. But is it possible? Is it possible at all the time we can be able to be in the energetic state? We all know the physics. So whatever the curve, if curve goes up, then it has to fall down. So whatever the curve falls down, it has to go up. So this is what the philosophy, this is what the life's course, right? We always looks ups and downs. So what we have to do when we are in up, what we have to do when we are in down. So this is all the things is mean for the emotional intelligence. The emotional intelligence, otherwise known as emotional quotient or EQ, is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, and overcome challenges and diffuse conflict. So these are all the things are in the emotional intelligence, right? How we are going to use our energy, that is emotion, in a positive way to lead our life. So that is called the emotional intelligence. So we will go with um the highly philosophical thing, where our feelings are comes from, where. But for that I have used the word called aham. You all know that mahavakyas from rishis, aham brahmasmi. um, aham brahmasmi, that means aham means the I, and brahmasmi, that means um, I am being as a brahmam means it is the all, it is everlasting. um, the existence is called as brahmam. So we usually called aham brahmasmi. That aham means you are that, you are that, what you are. So I divided, not me, this is a Vedic thought of dividing into four kind: chitta, manas, ahamkara, buddhi. Uh, so these four elements we divide as aham. Okay, that is you. When you think I am, and you always feel that what you are, who you are, what is your like, what is your dislike, and what you have gone through in your uh, last life, that is yesterday's, day before yesterday's, and your all the past come to you. And all those things are decided by these four elements. One is chitta, manas, ahamkara, buddhi. So each and every philosophical system, they will give their own meaning to each and everything. So for simply understanding, I am going to give some kind of uh, interpretations to each and everyone. So don't mistake me. for this. For chittam, that means we usually call it as chittam is your memories, all the memories you have brought up so far. So that is your consciousness, inner consciousness about yourself. Then buddhi, it is an intellectual part of your own being. So I just divided your being into four elements: chitta, buddhi, ahamkara, and manas. So buddhi is an intellectual area where you discriminate: this is good, this is bad, he is right, he is wrong, this is right for me, this is not right for me, this is I like, this I don't like. So all those things you are discriminate in the buddhi. And we just shift to buddhi to manas, where all your emotions, all your things are in that manas. So all your emotions comes from the manas. This is also the center of all the cognizant tools, such as your eyes, nose, and sensors also. So all those things are associated with manas, and from the manas only all the emotions are coming out. So we always our scientists are studying in a two way. One is to um, the external world, physics, chemistry, and biology, and all the subjects. So all the people are searching towards it. Another thing, the people are going inside, how your mind functions, how your emotions comes out, how our dreams are comes out, how can we achieve using our thought power, and all those things are and another part of research. So one people are going outside world to find outside world to discover whatever the things in the world. So another kind of people are wanted to jump into their own mind, and they want to discover all those things. So we are far better, and we are our country is very it's a high heritage, high culture on a rich culture, the right word, rich culture on analyzing oneself, and they have come to the various kind of conclusions, right? So the manas, so this is a very crucial one to study. Everyone is struggling with their own mind, right? Then finally ahamkara, this is very potential thing. So whatever one is achieving in his life, he is achieved through his ahamkara, through his stubbornness, through his uh, what through his karanam. This is what my the destiny, all those things were achieved by the ahankara. It's very so subtle, it releases in a subtler way. So when you understand yourself, when you go through a process of understanding oneself, and one start to realize what I is mean for. So most people, if you take 100% of people, in that most the 70% of people are living in their thought process itself. So when they wake up, they have their own work, set of work. So what they have to do for their daily day-to-day life activities, and they do all those activities, and they rest again, and their mind is filled with thought process, various thought process, what I should do next, what I should do next, and what can I do for my fetching my livelihood. But no people are start to realize their ahamkara, that means their I. They never ever realized what I am doing actually. The people are forget their I, and they are taking some kind of identity, that is ahamkara is your identity, right? So they forget their identity, and they are doing all kind of odd jobs, and they settle, and they are happy with that. But very few of us only want to know about what my ahankara, that is aham, my I is. It is a very subtler thing, and each and every one of us in our life, once in a life, we have to realize what our aham is. So these things we need to have a point. This point you can connect in later stages. So your memory, your emotions comes out of when you expose to different situations, the cognition, and your reaction to that cognition. So that is manas, and third one is buddhi, which one is right and which one is right, wrong, and what is good and what is bad. So that is another point. And final one is ahamkara. So these four things you just remember, and at the end of the session, you could be able to connect whatever the things I have said, right? So I'm going to tell you a story on the emotion, how we carry our emotion with us always. So I'm going to tell a story, right? I think you all, we all wanted to hear always enthusiastic about hearing some new stories, right? So this is a Jen story, and the story about two monks. One is an guru, and another one is a sishya. Both are walking for in the morning in the bank of a river, a small stream. It is not actually a big river or a smaller river. It's a simple stream. Water is running in that. So they are walking and they just see the sunset, sunrise, and they are enjoying the birds of morning, and they walk on the path. At the end of the point, they have to cross the river. Both of them has to cross the river, but at the point, at the point, there is a beautiful young girl is standing there. So both three of them are there. Three of them has to cross that. That young girl want to go in hurry, and she want to go, really she want to go, but she's afraid of crossing that river, and she also don't know the swimming, right? So at the time, yeah, the young monk is so hesitant to take her. So the older monk, the guru, she's she he has no second thought, and he decided to lift her on his shoulder, and he swam and went to the another shore, another bank of the river. But this time, the younger monk got furious over the action of the elder monk, because he thought of the elder monk violate the rules and regulations of their mat and the holiness of their temple. So they should not supposed to touch the girl, right? So but this is a situation. So the young monk so furious, but however the elder monk is a guru, no, so he can't tell anything to him, and he's hindering his all those feeling inside him, and he's thought over that, and he get anger, and why he do like this. He should not supposed to do this. He is the role model for everyone, and he's thinking all over the way, returning to their temple. Both of them, after a long walk, they came to their hut. Now when before entering into the hut, the younger monk got furious, and he could not control his emotion, and he asked to his guru, sir, how could you able to lift her and casually come with me? Is it not violating the rules and regulations of our uh, mud and temple, right? He asked that, he posted to the question to the monk, and the older monk is steadfast and smiled and sharply looked into the eyes of the younger monk, and he said, are you not leave her yet? Have you not leave her at another shore of the river? Isn't it? He asked that. So with this, the story ends. Actually, the moral or the gist of the story is the older monk left her in the bank itself. He carry and he carry in his physical body only. He is not taking it to his mind, and he's just a vehicle like a boat. He just taken her and left her in the shore itself, another bank of the river itself, right? But the younger monk got everything into the mind. He is always carry these thoughts with him. So this is what our life also. We carry something always with us, even though the situation, all the emotions comes for a purpose. If the anger, it comes for a purpose to tackle certain situation. If fear, it comes to tackle some kind of situation. If some snake come in front of you, suddenly, immediately, the fear comes. Then you run away from that situation, you run away from that place. Then it comes for a purpose. It has to go away with that purpose also. But unfortunately, we are all uh, having that emotions, always carrying emotions with us, the memory, that is chittam. In our chittam, we always carrying such emotions. We are not leaving that at the point itself. So we always carrying our past emotions into our present to the future. So this is what the moral of the story. But once the Ramana Maharshi told to their disciple, we are all traveling in the train. Why you should not unburden yourself, and you keep your luggage in the train and go smoothly, relaxedly in the train? But you always in the train, and you always carry your luggage in your head. So this is what Ramana Maharshi told. Similarly, we always take our um, luggages, our burdens in our head. We are not able to dislocate our luggage into the train. Why it happens? Why it happens to us? So this is what the techniques. This is what the tactics we have to. Some kind of tactics or techniques we have to follow in order to lift our burden, and we have to make it in the train, and we simply relaxedly travel or continue our journey in the train. So that needs some kind of techniques, right? So here I'm going to, now I told, no, some kind of guru or mentor is required to uh, reduce our burden and lift our burden to in the train, right? So some kind of emotions we want to avoid. So we all know that the situation of Mahabharata, particularly in the war scene, the Arjuna is reluctant to do the war. So at the time he got frustration, he got complete stress because of he need to kill his friends, relatives, and all those things. He could not. He's a mighty warrior. We all know that, but this warrior cannot even lift his bow, his kandibam, because of his emotional uh, frustration. So his energy goes very low. He is so mighty with his arms, with his legs, and with his broad shoulder, but he could not even lift his bow. Why it happens? Because of his emotions, and his energy goes low. So for that moment, somebody, a wise man like Krishna is needed to change his mind, change his emotion, change his mood, and motivating him, and make him to work. So somehow we need to avoid. We always wanted some kind of emotions to avoid. So these may be the emotions. This is a very destructive energy called fear. So fear may come and may leave, but if we carry this fear always, so this is also a destructive force of oneself. So why it happens? Because of our insecurity. If you feel so insecure, maybe a wealth, one thing, and another part maybe uh, wealth is the one part. If you don't have the enough wealth, so you feel insecure. If you uh, if you fear, if you're not having the lack of knowledge, if you not feel you are not have enough knowledge, or if you're not having enough well versed in speaking, so at that point you can feel fear. And another one kind of fear is fear of suffering. Your body nature, it's nature itself, it's decay, right? So at that point also you start to fear. So you need to understand what we are and who we are. Then automatically each and every fear is vanishes. So this is one kind of emotions always we feel. Another one is anxiety. So what is the difference between the fear and the anxiety? We have seen a man called Krishna. He felt that time he is in the greater anxiety, and he fell down in the ground. So when the fear comes, it's a one kind of thing. When your fear is overwhelmed, you are continually affected by the repeated fears, then you feel anxious. When some situation comes, you become so nervous, right? So this is another kind of emotions we always wanted to avoid. And another thing is the guilt. uh, this is mostly comes for a responsible persons like us. Whoever be a responsible person, he feel such a guilt, right? So why the guilt comes to oneself? Why guilt comes to one person when he feel he made the mistake? Is it possible to do the mistake alone? There are two kind of things in this. One is responsible. We have to be responsible. At the same time, we should not feel bad for anything. That is, we should not feel for uh, i'm the I'm the cause for this. So these kind of guilt. So the people who are the person who are in guilt, he always hitting himself. So this is also a destructive energy of hitting oneself. He himself beating himself. So this is what the picture I have shown. So this is also another kind of thing. This is happens in a two way. One is by means of one's own buddhi is discriminating. This is done because of you, this is for other. So likewise, his own intellect tell you are the reason. And sometimes if the people around you always pointing at you, you are the mistaken person, you does the mistake. Likewise, if the people are constantly repeating over you, around you, so automatically these kind of feelings comes into your being. Okay. So this is the cause of the guilt. And another thing, this is also another energy. So you can use this energy in a positive way also. Whatever the energy we are looking, this energy can be used in a positive way. But the jealous is an another way of another thing, which is always reduces your confidence level. It reduces your confidence level. If you yourself does something and marvelous things to you, you think, you thought you are achieved greater things, or you done something better today. But when you start to compare with others, when you go to get some kind of recognition from others, automatically other people may not know about how much efforts you have taken, but they simply compare. The comparison comes in a both ways. One is from inside of yourself and from outside of yourself. So inside of yourself, you are comparing with your neighbors, friends, relatives, and all those things. So similarly, the comparison comes out from the outside. What is out is comes in, what is in comes goes out. So this is a process of the exchanging process. But somehow you need to understand, the friends, relatives, or from who are in outside world, they also compare you with others, and they will tell you, so this work is slight. Or if you want to recognize from others, then automatically you will get you are always uh, get beaten, and automatically it may get the this kind of feelings may come. So this is a comparison of yourself with others, by you or by somebody else. So this is a kind of feeling, but this will help in some way. So if you feel, I'm not going to justify jealous is good, but somehow if you feel, if you look around and you get something, okay, I also want to achieve these manners. So you can correct yourself in some extent, but this will not going to help in a long run. Okay. So this is a kind of uh, emotions we want to avoid. Anger. So another kind of emotion we get whenever we are helpless, whenever we are over frustrated, whenever we are hit by somebody physically or mentally. And we always get this kind of whenever hurt you, whenever mocked you, whenever kid you, and these kind of emotions comes to you, the anger. um, and the most probably this comes this anger comes because of your our potential to respond to the situation. If we are not able to handle that, so automatically we get instead of correcting ourselves, instead of we get anger. If somebody telling our higher official comes to us and telling you have to correct these things, so automatically we can do in two ways. If we are positive person, we may get anger. If we are a positive person, we may okay, we will correct. But that is what you are handling the situation. You are well versed, you are matured enough, then you will easily handle the situation. But if in potential is, it is, I'm not going to it is dominating, but if the potential is up to the mark, then we'll suddenly react to that situation, so that becomes an anger. But whatever it may be, this may help also. So it may help in some extent, but at the same time this loosen your whole energy, sucks your energies. So at that point you may get frustrated. That also a negative way. So these emotions also we want to avoid. Another thing is greed. We want always more, and uh, this is too much of justified. This era, particularly this era, this is justified. This is right. Greed is right. It is justified. So that is the and why we should not greedy. So likewise, it is justified, but somehow uh, we have to give to others. We should not supposed to. We always, if you have a proper plans of what we have to do, and you always not be a greedy, you are a perfect planner. Greed is a one aspect, and if you are a perfect planner of effective utilizer of the resources, so automatically you will get maximum benefit, as well as you utilize your material wealth in a right proper way. So a person who is intelligent, emotionally intelligent, or a person who is capable of getting money, and he can able to uh, use his wealth in an effective manner. So if a person who is a entrepreneur, if you give 100 crores to him, he he will use that money in a positive way. He create jobs of hundreds of people. So automatically, if he create 100 jobs, then 100 family live on that. So in that time, if you are we have freedom. If you are a free person, if you are an intelligent person, automatically you will utilize, you will you will effectively use your resources, so that you will be always a happy person, right? Okay. So these are all some kind of negative emotions, as well as we have seen some kind of positive side of it. So if you are emotionally energetic person, you are a stable person, so automatically you will handle all those situations. Okay. So causes of negative emotions. So what are all the causes for getting the negative emotions? I naming it as influence of A, B, C. What is, sir? This is a code word: A, B, and C. I categorized the surroundings as a three influence. This I taken from the philosophy of G.I. Gurdjieff. He categorized the people into three categories. C type, it is they are just function in a lower level. They are just a people of the general opinion. So from the general opinion, the people are acting. They are tackling their courses. So these people are called as C type of people, and the C type. So those people influences you. Those people influences your emotions or your well-being. So automatically you will get a reaction to it. So that is the um, one kind of influence. And second influence is B influence. So this influence comes from your intellect. That is book. Somebody from the various kind of books are there to for internal well-being as well as the external well-being. From the books, if your influences you taken, then it is called as B kind of influence. Then third one is A kind of influence. This is purely on your intuition. In the intuitions uh, is the makes you to the course of actions. So your intuitions only makes you to the action. So you may heard about the famous words of Nikola Tesla. He is the you know very well about Nikola Tesla. Most of his invention is comes from his own intuitions. Nobody around him can understand his mind. However, however, the ideas, new ideas came to his mind, and he put everything in his mind and put all the drawings in his mind, and he made everything in materialized. His all those thoughts are materialized in a real way. So his full influence is from the A, from the higher source. So you will get to know that by means of ABC, you will get where you get your emotions. I just make a point and you just connect on your own experience. So my philosophy and thoughts I just give to you, and you just connect how it connect to your own life. Okay, and next one is thinking over failure. Um, uh, for example, here I am going to take a seminar for you. Uh, if somebody is thought of negative as if likewise similarly these kind of things, whenever we take a new step, new venture, new journey, we always thought over that. If we failed, what we have to do? If we bankrupted, what we have to do? Some likewise we always have the thought thinking over failure. Too much of thinking. If this happens, what to do? That happens, what to do? So the famous Shiv Kera told that too much of thinking. He has told a smart short story. Once a well-educated MBA student of a small uh, hotel owner, in his book You Can Win, this story comes. So he came to his taking over his father's business. His father is a hard worker, and he does all those works. He achieved all those things by his simple work, hard work and smart work. But once his son came, at the time the world meets the financial crisis, and it's a simple business, but his son thought of all those things, all those financial failures over the bigger countries and banks, and he got all those things, and he is confused with his business. And he's telling to his father that this may happen, that may happen, like that. But his father steadfastly believe in ourselves, and we just do our simple works, then we can achieve. By that, they won. But that this kind of too much of thinking causes too much of anxious thoughts. So this is also cause of the negative emotions. And another one is the lack of faith or lack of confidence in oneself. So that is also a cause of the negative emotion. And fear of suffering. We always wanted to suffer. We also don't want to suffer, but that's okay. But it is about if something happens to us, what to do. So some kind of fear of uh, thinking over suffering, and everything is about our own, the intellects, that is buddhis malfunction. So this is also a kind of cause of negative emotions. So I just separated our aham into 4 categories, and um, 4 categories are in a net. One thing is relevant to other. Another thing is relevant to others. So if one affects, then automatically another one also affects. So it's a complicated thing. We need to observe our well-being day-to-day life, right? So fear of suffering is another cause of. So in a famous book called Alchemist, Paulo Coelho told, fear of suffering is worse than facing the failure, facing the suffering itself. So if you feel the fear, if you of suffering, you just face that situation itself, then it is easier than fear of suffering. So that is what I want to tell to my students, to everyone. So fear of facing the situation, facing the moment is very easier, very lesser trouble than fear and thinking over the suffering and failure. Attachment with habits, things, and people. So this is attachment, our attachments with our habits, not able to change our habits. So these are all the things also a cause of the negative emotions. So these may be causes, these may be the negative emotions we have listed out. So all those things have come some kind of symbols, some kind of uh, marks we want to avoid, or we want to, it's also for our understanding purpose. Everything is an emotion, an energy which is in the higher pulse or lower pulse or moderate pulse. All that's it. We need to complicate all those causes and all the things. However, at the end of the day, you are the person one who jump out of the normal people, right? You are going to handle your all those things, all the emotions and all those things. You are the one who the achiever. You are the one who the motivator. You are the one who is one among the crores, right? You are going to be an enthusiastic and energetic. So for this, I'm going to tell you a story. This shall pass. This is about the story is about a saint and a king. There is a king who wants to suicide himself, and he ramp up a big mountain and a peak, and he is at the top of the peak. He lost all his country, wealth, people, his warriors, and all those things. He is in a desperate situation. His That's it. His life is finished. He could not come out of it. So he thought of better to die than live. So he went away, went up the hill, and he want to fall in from the peak. He raised his hand at the time. He just noticed there is a ring in his finger. He just looked that ring. At the time he got struck, something he got struck. That ring is gifted by some saint who came to his court when he is in the well mannered situation, when his situation is good. At the time, that saint gifted this ring to the king, and he told, Mr. King, be happy always. But when you feel very bad, when you're frustrated, when there is a desperate situation where you can't come back, so at the time you just open this, and it may give some kind of motivation to you. And saint went back. So the king thought of that particular situation at the peak. What may be the answer, or the thing which is given by, he's curious about knowing what the saint is given to him, and he just taken the ring from his finger, and it's a closed a small box of closed box, and he just opened that box, and where he found a message, this, and that message is, this shall pass, this is also pass from in the life. So that is the message. And the king got struck. Why the situation is not change? It may change, no. And he start to realize, yeah, this situation may change, the change is permanent. So this is what, so by my emotions, all my intellect, buddhi is vanished. Why the situation may change, why we should not, why we should die. He just change at the point of suicide point, he changed his all his decision, and he came back and sit in a cave, and he again and again he's telling to himself, this shall pass, this shall pass, this shall pass. And after some time, a dove fly in the mountain and came to his, and it gives the message of their warrior, who are all scattered. And he got that message, and he met one by one his warriors and leaders of the frontline leaders, all those people he met in 6 or 7 months over a period. And everyone so furious to get their land back. So everyone is vigorously fight, vigorously practiced and fight with the people who are all taken their land. So finally in the war, the king wins. The people are so much happy, the warriors are so happy, all the people, all the person in the land is so happy, and they celebrated as a festival of their victory. At that victory, the king want to honor the saint, because his message only changed his whole life, right? So he wanted to celebrate him, he wanted to honor him, he wanted to showcase to his people, he is the one who changed my whole mind, a whole perspective. And this is a situation came because of him. So the king invited that saint, the saint came to his court, and king gave all his gestures, his gratitude towards the guru. And king asked to guru, ask anything, I want to give. Do you want the land? Do you want the district, state? Whatever you want, I will give to you. What do you want? I want to give to you. So he is so furious to, he want to know about what the saints want is. But all the saints want what they want in return. He just kept smiling, and he wanted to remain. Now you just open the ring, all the people are celebrated around him. So the king remained, sorry, the saint remained the king. Again you open the ring. Okay, then king again he opened the ring, and in that ring it shows the message of, this shall pass, this victory also pass. That how his defeat has to pass, similarly his victory has to pass. So with this our story ends. So similarly in our life, the ebbs and flow, always we have some upper side, and always we may have a lower side, but everything shall pass, everything vanishes, everything is this is what the law of life, no. So uh, what I want to convey here is, we are talking about, we want to avoid that emotion, we want to avoid this emotion, we want to avoid jealous, anger, anxiety. But how? That too shall pass. Emotions, or the life of the emotions, or the fraction of second, it has the fraction of second life. it comes out and die. That is what the function of emotion. But unfortunately, our intellect, our buddhi, our overthinking ability is holding that emotion for a very long time. Understanding the life's philosophies and principles may help to pass everything. Okay, so how we can able to handle our emotion? So for that, our rishis, saints, and philosophers tell, don't do anything with your emotions. It too pass. It comes to you, and how it comes and how it goes. It comes and it goes in the same way, whether it is a positive or negative. So actually, we only dealing with the negative emotions. And another thing is also a positive emotions. We always wanted to be a joyous person. We always wanted to be a happiest person. We always wanted to be an energetic person. But at the same time, we want to holding it. How we are holding the negative emotion, similarly, we want to holding the positive emotions also. So the holding certain thing causes. So when it is in the flow, then automatically there is no problem. So first of all, in order to relieve from the guilt, in order to relieve from the anxiousness, or why it happens to me always. This is what mostly our murmur, why it always happens to me. I'm a sad person, why it has always happened to me. Likewise, we always murmur to ourselves. Once this question is forced to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he told that, Ramakrishna told that the person only telling this when he is unhappy. What about when his situation is happy? When you are a happy situation, do you tell why it is always happens to me? We will not tell. Whenever the bad or when we feel bad, only we are telling that why it happens to me. So whatever the things happens to you, just surrender to it. Surrender is not an easy task. Like my words, the words may be easy. Surrendering is very tough. But somehow you are surrendering to yourself. Surrender to what actually you are, what your wealth is, what your intellect is, what your well-being is. Surrender to what you are. Whatever happens, okay, this is what happened to me, it's okay. So what I'm telling is, yourself is against yourself. Yourself itself is dividing, and it is against itself. So for that only I am telling. So whatever happens, okay, this happens, right? You accept that moment. So automatically the half of your burden is reduced. That's what I told. Love yourself. Loving others is the one essential part. Loving yourself is very essential part. Loving yourself is not just a mere word. Okay, I'm loving myself. It's not a mere word, but you are taking care of yourself. You are taking care of your thoughts. If you love somebody, what you have to do? If you love your daughter, what you do? You take care of her. This is what we are missing it. We always we possessing ourselves. We are not loving ourselves. We tell, yes, I'm loving myself, but we are actually possessing ourselves instead of loving ourselves. So what I'm telling here, the point is, you just, if you love your daughter, then automatically you take care of herself. If you love your son, if you love your parent, you take care of them. Similarly, if you love yourself, you take care of your health, your sleep, your food, all other things. But actually what we are actually doing is we are trying to utilize ourselves. How over utilization of your the sensory function, sensory function. So you are getting benefits out of your sensors. If you eat, it gives some kind of pleasure. And what you have done, you are the pleasure through food is good, but at the same time we are overfeeding it. Overfeeding, you are, if food is too much of taste, you overfeed and your stomach is full and you are hurt yourself. If if your chat is too interesting, you are not sleep well, and whole day um, you whole night you are chatting with somebody and you are hurting yourself, your sleep, your body system. Similarly, whatever the things which is so stimulates you, so it makes so much of interest to you, then you over utilizing your own system of cells, your body. So you are not actually taking care of yourself. Whatever we are telling that I am taking care of myself, but you are not actually taking care of yourself. So taking care of yourself is just loving yourself. When we are take care of ourselves, then automatically we take care of all the people who are all around us, because you are not over utilizing yourself, as well as you are not over utilizing the other also, right? The understand what you are. So this is what I have told the previous slide. Understanding of what our capabilities are, what our feelings are, our emotions are. So you understand what you are and love yourself, automatically everything is healed. And another one thing is, um, uh, sow a good seed and wait for the time to harvest, but we are not having enough patience. um, we are not giving enough time to heal. So if something has happened to you, uh, give some time to heal. So automatically, if something has happened to the life, then you just give some time to heal. It's like you are riding a bicycle. If put a sudden brake, it will not the inertia, the inertia, it takes some distance. Likewise, our mind also has its own inertia. You are thinking over certain things, and I'm giving a lot of points to you. This will not happen in a day, but it will grow in a right time, right manner. So the inertia, we need to give some kind of response, respect to that inertia. Give the enough time, the patience, time duration to heal yourself. So in this, I want to tell another incident of the famous Russian philosopher. His name is George Ivanovich Gurdjieff. When his father is in deathbed, he is a good father. I just read him about his father in meetings with remarkable men. Meetings with remarkable men. So in his book, he's told about his father, how he's brought up. So when he's in young, his father left his body. So he's also a kind of a partially, he's a kind of a saint. He also has the vision of how his son has to be uh, evolved in his life. He has his vision. And also he's a very rich. At the same time, he lost their wealth because of the charity, the famine which attacks their area. So at the time, his father in the deathbed, he called his son, and he calmly looked into the eyes of his son, and he is going to tell his message of his lost message to his son, what he has to do in his rest of this life. And Gurdjieff, a small boy, he's listened to his father, and his father is calmly looked into his eyes of his son. Son, if you get anger to any situation, at least take 24 hours of time to react, he told his son. And so this is what, at the time, he could not understand what actually he is telling, and everything is finished. Then Gurdjieff is intellectual man. He thought of these things over and over, what he is told. So when you get anger, at the time, you are all the, not only anger and other emotions also, even the happiness, the joyfulness, the overwhelmingness, whatever it may be. So when it affects you, automatically it leads to you in a different stage, so that you could not able to cognize or being intellect at the time, right? So all your, that's why our elders telling you that, told you that, do not give any promises when you are happy. Do not take any decisions when you are frustrated or anger. So this is what the thing our elders told. So this is what the message which is given by the father of Gurdjieff to him. So give a time to heal. Give enough time to heal. Give enough time to heal. So this is one of the best medicine of each and everyone. So whatever the emotion comes, at least give some kind of time to subsidize. So this is mostly happens to us when we fight each other in home, particularly with the husband and wife. um, my life, a lot of things has helped myself in my life. That's why I'm just projecting these things to others also. So whenever we fight in home, I thought of that, this shall pause, this may heal. The time heals you. Definitely time heals you. So give enough time to the emotions, so the emotion itself heals itself. Then most importantly, forgive yourself. Mostly people are usually tell, forgive others, whatever the things done to you, forgive others. But we sometimes we are not forgiving ourselves also. That's what we have divided ourselves. One is observer, another one is observed. Within yourself, you are dividing yourself and you are fighting with your own self. So in order to handling that, I am telling, forgive yourself. If you forgive yourself, automatically you will forgive the people who are all around you. So whatever the things you are reflecting in your being is reflected with the people also. Who are all is strict with himself, who are all is strict with himself, is strict with others also. So that's what, this is a simple logic I am telling. So if you forgive yourself, automatically you will forgive others also. So let give freedom to each and every person who are all around you. So that gives freedom to you and freedom to others also. It reduces burden of you. It leaves you from the cage. Next one is, past is past. So this is the message. The past is past. Live in the present. Once in the Paulo Coelho's Alchemist, I have got to realize that whatever the moment is past, it gone away. I'm explaining. I have put a lot of PPTs here. So I'm in the current slide. Whatever the things which is past is just past, it becomes just memory. So whatever the things I have told you, whatever the actions you are done in the screen is just past. It went away, it vanished, it becomes memory. So immediately all those things in the world is becomes so it becomes in the memory. All the things are in memory, and our future also in the form of memory. Our present is just a passage of past and the future. The moments are just passing one by one. So whatever you have to face in the life, only in the present only. But actually our mind is in the past, as well as it is goes to the future, and it fear over the future in the present only. But you are not actually meeting the circumstances, everything is passes. But you are not actually facing the things, but everything is in your mind and your mind fears. So what I have to do with that? So the clear understanding of your functioning may release you, may release your release or realize you are in the complete freedom. Okay, so most probably if we live in the present, who is completely aware of it, so he can be able to handle his emotions in a well-versed manner, because whatever the things comes into him is goes out of him, and he is always being a happiest person. And once an actor of our region, Mr. Pasupati, he told that he's a famous actor, and recently he got too much of famous of some kind of movie came, right, Sapata Paramarai. So once he told, whenever I'm acting, I will not look myself. He is telling that. So whatever the acting comes out of him, at the moment he act and left, he goes away. He will not observe what actually he is doing. If he done so, whatever happens, so whatever the he done in the last moment, he start to correct himself at the moment itself. Likewise, if I'm talking to you, if I want to during the talking of myself, if I observe myself, what I will do, I just wanted to correct myself. Oh, so these words you have to use, these words you should not use. Likewise, there is a background words comes in my mind continually, so this spoils your work, spoils your profession. So do alert, be alert, but do the things, whatever things comes to you by the moment to moment. So this is what the things, this is the mistake I commonly done by myself during my work or my classes or wherever I done. So when Pasupati told these things, so I could able to connect that, oh, so these are all the mistakes I have done during the classroom. So I just wanted to correct whatever the words I just put in a few minutes. So future and present is not yesterday and tomorrow, but the very moment of the past moment and now and the next second, the second to second. So that is a huge thing. So just these things I just make a point. You just have this, and this may sprout out in a right moment. I just give a seed to you, so this may sprout out in a right time. Okay, so past is past. Be alert in the present, so that gives professional excellence as well as uh, the emotional well-being. And another most important thing, prayer. Whoever you are, whatever the religion you may be, even though you are an atheist, you can have the prayer is not. If you are an atheist, you can pray to yourself. That is, if you are first we go with atheist who are believing in God. So you may have your own personal God, your own trustful God, and you can give all your burdens to Him. You just give all your burden to Him. He will solve all those problems. So He can also pray by what God He likes, and this definitely helps to him to solve his problems, life's problems, as well as this happened to us. Uh, uh, Even though we are in the era of scientific era, but still the prayer, people are feeling that the prayer solve all my problems. So people are actually feels that when you are an atheist, then you can plan according to your course of action. So I should be this, I should be that, whatever the things I should do. Likewise, if you are uh, orient yourself, then automatically that's also a prayer. So whatever you are, whoever you are, so this helps us. And you can have a good song for prayer song. You can have a good prayer song in our poem, a Tamil poem. We are having you in every language there is a poem um, uh, to tell our feelings and emotions to the God. So you need not to sing, but you can remember those words. So that helps. In our Tamil, there is Bharadiyar have a poem called Enniya Mudidal Vendum. That means whatever the things you like, you think it has to it has to comes true. It is the first line, எண்ணிய முடிதல் வேண்டும். Whatever I think, it has to completed, it has to fulfilled. நல்லவே எண்ணல் வேண்டும், the next line. Whatever the things I think, it should be good. Likewise, it start. I have to get brave heart. That is the next line. I should get good intellect. That is the next line. Whatever the sin I have done, I just put unto you, just vanish all my sins. So this is a prayer song is given by Subramanya Bharati. It's a beautiful poem. So similarly, in your own kind of people, and they also give the wonderful poems to you, each and because our country is so rich in culture. So each and every state, there is a great poets, rishis, and great peoples are there. So whatever the religion you may be, all the things are for our well-being. We can pray in a right good words, and we actually get that prayer. So that will satisfy yourself, that will satisfy your being. So prayer is one of the best medicine for emotional intelligence and balance. Then finally I come to a point of the choiceless awareness. So this is too much of complicated thing. So whatever the things I have told you previously is a easy thing, but the choiceless awareness is another thing which was coined by J. Krishnamurti, a famous philosopher of Indian originated philosopher, J. Krishnamurti. He suggests the word choiceless awareness. What is meant by choiceless awareness? It's a kind of meditation technique, but I'm not using the word meditation here because everyone is posting the same thing, meditation, but we don't know how to do. Everyone is giving some kind of words, some kind of their own kind of techniques, but here this may shoot for everyone. So this choiceless awareness means, so in your whole life, that means your day-to-day life, complete activity, whatever the emotions you feel inside, you just let it as it is, but with some kind of awareness. This what is the point here is, if you want, if you the emotions are common for the people, the positive as well as negative. The emotion comes to you, you don't have any control over that. So we need to understand that if you get anger, it will not ask you, can I anger? It will not come like that. It will come suddenly, it will burst suddenly, right? So the anger, when you are in a home, if you get anger, then suddenly you throw the plate and you broke all those things, you hit your wife or child, and you do all kind of atrocities. But the same thing, if it has happened to in front of higher officials, what you will do? You just keep all your anger, hide your anger, and in front of them, and you always say, yes sir, we will do. Likewise, but the situation is differs, right? In the first situation, when you are home, you are having some kind of freedom to expose your anger. But when you are in office, when you are in under the higher officials, you are not actually, you are handling that anger. So that's also a kind of mindset. So what here he is trying to convey to us is, when the anger comes, whether it has to manifest or not, it is in your hand, whether I have to do in the by means in actions or not. That's very important. So anger comes, if anger comes, it's not a sin, it has to come its own way, but whether you are going to materialize that anger or not is in your hand. That's it. So what he is trying to convey you is, whatever the things, if anxiety or fear or anything comes, it will not ask you and come, it will come in its own way. So if it comes, whether to materialize or not is in your buddhi, your intellect. So you just, whatever the things comes into you, you just hand it or not, just choose it, and be alert of what actually comes. So this is one thing. This is choiceless awareness of your. You should not deny it. That is, I should not anger. I should not feel guilt. I should not feel jealous. I should not feel greedy. I should not feel that. You should not choose your feelings. So that is what the choiceless are. You should not choose your emotion. That is what the thing. But your action has to be chosen by you. So this is the difference. This is a very complicated thing to explain. You can't choose your emotions. The emotions may come or may not come. So it is up to its manam, that is mind. But whether your emotion is materialized or not, so there your intellect is. So choiceless is for whatever the things comes to it, you just realize, oh, these are all the things I having. So if you deeply look each and everything, you can know about whatever the reasons for your negative emotions and all those things. But my point is the choicelessness for your mind, subconscious mind, which gives the various kind of emotions. You should not, you can't disturb that. You are not having the authority, or you are not having the power to control it, but you are having a control over your actions. So you just whether to materialize or not. So even though sometime if it is materialized, you just forgive yourself, forgive others. You just realize, okay, this happens, this shall to pass, and if comes next time, you just remember it. That's it. So this is here a saint from Salem, his name is Bhagavat, Sri Bhagavat. He is telling that in you, when you consider your aham, your I, you just be silent. You don't go your intellect into your mind. Don't apply all the rules and regulations of your mind in, sorry, intellectual into your mind. But you apply your mind for external work. If you want to do some kind of work in in your office, you have to use that intellect. You have to do all kind of works. So for that you use all the kind of intellect. But for your mind, for your managing your mind, you should not supposed to use any intellect. You just be calm over your mind. So whatever the emotion comes, yes, it comes to you and it vanishes in its own way. But whether to materialize or not, that's very important. That's is in your hand. So that is what the choiceless awareness is meant for. And energize yourself. You just energize yourself always. Energize, that means whatever the things you like to do. If you want if you feel that if you hear the music, you feel you feel energized, you just energize. Just give the enough time to whatever the things energize yourself. Whenever you feel find time, spend the things which is makes you happy. So that is what the energize yourself. Frequently energize yourself. No, who is going to energize yourself? You are the only person who is energize yourself. um, Once Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam told, we always want to find the friend who is outside. Always we want to find a person of outside world. We are searching a right person to always to pacify you, to motivate you, whatever the wrong you have done, who is always trying to convince you. So that always wanted a solace of a friend from outside. But instead of finding a person who is in the outside, you just discover a person who is inside. You become a friend to yourself. That friend, whatever the situation may be, whatever the worsen situation may be, you just find the solace from your friend who is just inside. He is taking care of yourself. If you are a friend to yourself, then automatically all the burden of your life may vanish. So we are in the verge of completion. So before that, I want to drive it to this poet. His name is Na Muthukumar. Um, he is a poet, and he is now no more. Uh, it's a loss for Tamil uh, audience or Tamil people, Tamil language also. And he wrote a beautiful poem in this. It starts with ஒரு நாளில் வாழ்க்கை. It starts with that words. So he just explained about him, about this poem, how we are, where we get the uh, karu. That means a point, where we get the point for this, the the core value of the song, where we got. So he explained in this manner. So whenever when something is lost to us, whenever some person, very close person, or money, or trust, or understanding, if anything is breaks with us or from us, when we are very desperate situation, at that point, at the first day of that desperate situation, our pain is so intense. We could not handle that pain. We could not handle the pain, and we so intensely painful for that moment. So when the next day comes, the intensity of pain is reduced. Whatever you do, whatever you remembered, the intensity of pain is reduced. So on the next day, on the next day, on the next day, the intensity of pain is reduced. At some time, it may vanish. So that point, he using that words, and he wrote this poem. You can read in English version, and if Tamil people can read the Tamil version also. Life is not designed to run out on you in one day. ஒரு நாளில் வாழ்க்கை இங்கே எங்கும் ஓடி போகாது. That means life is not designed to run out on you in one day. With dawn of a new day, your sorrows don't grow, but melt away. மறுநாளும் வந்துவிட்டால் துன்பம் தேயும் தொடராது. That means when it comes to the next day, your sorrows don't grow, it melt away. Million of eyes shedding tears would have dropped to the ground. We all know that how much war, how much pain. We studied history, right? How much people died for to this land. So million of eyes shedding tears would have dropped to the ground. Life moves on in spite, and Mother Earth sprouts flowers all around. So even though too much of tears is fallen on the earth, which is so tearful thing, but earth sprouts a new flowers on another day. So in this poem, he told on another line, our mind calculates, this is for me, this is for mine, and she is for me, he is for me, and we always calculating, but this is all false. Everything is taken by the earth itself, the who is made. He takes everything. This is what happened to our life. So if we understand this simple philosophy, and we need to go through our life's process, I'm not denying it. If we realize all those things, we become a saint. But our life situation, we may not be a saint, but understanding a simple thing, and whatever the bigger trouble comes to us, we can easily pass that. Okay, this is the life. Okay, we will move on. I could see the many people after corona, the people who are affected by the corona, and the family affected by the corona, they also start to realize what the life is, what happens to us, where we are running, and everyone got to know that the value, and they got the clear about their emotions, what we have to do and what we shouldn't. So this is helps a lot. So we come to a conclusion. We always be motivated. So the God is with me, the universe is with me. So we can motivate ourselves. There is one great truth on this planet. Whoever you are, whatever it is that you do, it is because that desire is originated in the soul of the universe. It is your mission on the earth. So it is your mission on the earth. Why do you worry? So that's the question is put forth by Paulo Coelho from Alchemist. What he's trying to tell you, conveying you. Everyone wants to do something. Ramanujam, who is a person from Erode, a smaller district in Tamil Nadu, but he went to London University, completed his research, and yet his research is now itself it is research what he told. So he is a very small, he's brought up from a small village and he achieved a greater things. So similarly, we thought of sir, similarly,
Yes, sir.
similarly, sir.
Yes, sir. You can continue, sir. You continue, sir. Please continue.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So our mission on the earth. So there is a job only for Ramanujam like kind of people. We also having the mission, right? We also and this in this alchemist book itself, in all the legends, that means legends means the poem or personal legend. The personal legend means our own story. We all have story. In our story we are the hero. We all thought that the Ramanujam or some external people like Abdul Kalam or who are, we all from our childhood we are motivated by some kind of persons, but we also have the mission. But that mission may be spread out in the later years to come. We may do good things right now, but these things will be give some kind of fruit in the next life or another life. So but we are came to for a mission. So there is a one great truth on this planet. Whoever you are, whatever it is that you do, it is because that desire originated in the soul of the universe. So it is your mission on the earth. In the soul of the universe your mission is written. You are following it, and definitely we all reach that destiny. In that mid there may be ups and downs. We calling it as emotion, intelligence, all those things. But in a simple words, everything is simple words, and we just want to understand. So understanding purpose, we are discriminating all those things, but everything is simple. Our mission will be definitely completed. And when you want something, all universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. The entire universe is be with you, me, and us. So why we need to worry about all those things? Definitely, we will achieve our things, goals. We will achieve our mission. We need not to worry for anything. We always be happy and enthusiastic towards our goal. So for that, our poet told that தெய்வத்தால் ஆகாதெனினும் முயற்சிதன் மெய்வருத்த கோழிதரம். It means though fate divine should make your labor vain. That means it is not written, but your effort fetch what fruit it needs. So efforts, its reward, labor, efforts, its labor, sure reward will gain. Whatever the efforts you are putting in, definitely you are getting the reward for that. So that is what. So whatever the effort, if you feel nobody is recognized, good book definitely will come out in one day. Maybe it will take some time. You know that how the Nobel Prizes given to some people after their death, Bharat Ratnas. Likewise, do good. Definitely in a day, your efforts will be recognized in your lifetime or in another life. No issues. So definitely you will get the reward. And another thing is you will get whatever the things you are thinking, definitely you will get. That is what the another, whatever the men think, even as they think, the men obtain. If those who think can steadfastness after of will retain. So if somebody is strong enough to think, definitely they will get. Okay, so with these words, I'm very happy for you all. I thank all the participants for being with me and passionately listening to my words, thoughts, and philosophies, whatever I have put forth for you. Thank you all. I thank ATAL FDP team for providing me opportunities, and Dr. R. Suresh Kumar sir, Naveen Prabhu sir, and Sadi sir, and entire department of mechanical engineering, who always supporting me, motivating me, guiding me, and pushing me to do some work better than yesterday's. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Tirupati, for your wonderful session. Now, my dear participants, the session is now open for taking up the questions. Any participants who is having queries can pose their questions in the chat box, please. Tirupati sir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I could hear you.
We will be taking the first question. The question is how to de-stress after a bad day work.
Better to sleep better.
So, in case you are in your working official area, and
Okay, sir.
part of the day has been gone, and it is a bad day, the next portion of the day you have to complete it. Now, how do you manage it, sir?
When we understand ourselves, when we understand the purpose of everything, so we need to know about which one is important and which one is not important. So if you understand the importance of things, then automatically we will get to know that what to take and what we should not take. And moreover, if we are not renew that emotions, that means why it should be happen like that, it should be happen like that. So that is what the past. So if we rightly handle the past, so automatically future also good. So that means what I'm telling is, if we rightly handle the present situation, automatically the future also comes in a good. So what the point is, if you are let the emotions as it is, automatically it heals. So this is the this may be a solution. And a person who is handling the situation has to create his own niche of relieving it. So that also helps in a lot. Any other, sir?
Thank you, thank you. Now, one other question that is from the participant. It is more. It is seem to be a personal one. The question says, when you feel demotivated, what step do you take to overcome it?
Demotivation for me personally, when I'm telling personally, when our expectation is these people should tell like this, after we also create some expectation over our work. So when such kind of things is not recognized by others, so automatically we will get more demotivated. They should appreciate like this. These much of efforts I have put, but this is not got to me. So at the time we got demotivated. But for this, over a period of time, I got to thought that we have to put our effort, but the rest of the things they will tell their suggestions. We should not get motivated whether we are happy. First of all, whether I am happy with what I have done. So if that thing came, so automatically this issues solved. So this is what the answer may be.
That's wonderful, sir. Now we will take up the third questions. Third question is, what kind of behavior makes you angry or annoyed, and how do you make yourself get away from that type of state of mind?
Um, for me personally, it is vary with person to person, but moreover, these things are these things are depending upon the day, how it happens to you, whether it is your day or another day. So even though if the day is for you, whatever the annoyance came to you, you easily tackle it and you just pass away from it. But your day is not yours, then automatically we start to feel that. So that is very important. That is whether your day or other day. So if it is not your day, being calm to situations, and why I'm telling being calm to, that may not hurt others. So if particularly when we are in a students community, because we are always want to go with the students, so if we can't show all our anger to our students, all our emotions to our students, so that we always wanted to be a craft level. Okay, we always wanted to be a calm, we are reacting calm to the situation, so that the students, others also feel good for that. So if we get anger, we are get frustrated, if you show our annoyance to others, then they will get frustrated, then their day may wasted. So on the time we should not react to certain situations, we may feel calm and we may pass over it. So that is better. So it is all about the day, not the situation is only affects any person in a lesser sense. Sir?
Thank you, sir. Now we will take up the last question by the participants.
Okay.
The question says, how do you value friendship in the workplace?
Sorry, sir, I couldn't get you.
How do you value
Okay.
friendships in the workplace?
This I learned from my HOD sir, Dr. R. Suresh Kumar sir. Whenever he's so acute very accurate in his getting works done from the colleagues, as well as being a friend with thing. So whenever he values friendship and he does all the things, whatever the things we support personally, he does. But when it comes to work, he just suddenly changes his face, suddenly changes all his gestures. So automatically we know that his personality is changed to move to the work. So when he's so serious, so we always get too serious and do the work with that. So when it comes to personal, when the work is completed, then we okay, this is the time for fun, and the friendship is very important. At the same time, when it comes to work, that kind of the assertiveness he shows, so that helps me a lot to learn this. So this may be an answer. The friendship is very important. At the same time, when the work comes, then how to get the work is the nature of each and every individual to get the work from the people.
Thank you, Professor Tirupati, for the wonderful session. And on this professional ground, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Professor Tirupati for delivering an excellent session on emotional intelligence, because we believe everyone who are in this forum are from different sector. Probably we are faculty, but we belong to different institutions. But in personal life, when we get into account with interaction with the workspace, every one of us, irrespective of designation where you belong to, everyone are subjected to some kind of stress, some kind of pain, most of which are not discussed or shared with the colleagues. And that pain and agony still remains there inside the heart and soul and mind of a person. And repeatedly the next day we have to join back. And there the emotional intelligence becomes a vital. The more you are strong emotionally, the more you will be successful. And in this regard, the session what has been handled by Professor Tirupati is well appreciated, that he covered all the nook and corners which demands from person's mind to be stable. I once again, on behalf of the department, I extend my sincere thanks to Professor Tirupati for delivering one of the finest session.